Hey, what is up, Internet? This is Kyle with Slapshot Toys and Comics, doing another Hot Toys 1/6 scale action figure review. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Movie Masterpiece diecast series Iron Man Mark 45 from Avengers Age of Ultron. And here is the Mark 45 out of the packaging, and this is one awesome figure. This has some awesome weight to it from the die cast. The detailing on the armor is fantastic. The articulation is really good. Came with some awesome accessories, and the LED light-up function just really make this figure pop. But let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that this figure does come with. First thing we are going to take a look at is the base that this figure comes with. Now, this is not the standard just kind of logo and nameplate plaque base that we get with most Hot Toys. This one's a little bit more of like a dioramic set piece. So we get like this really kind of cool collapsed ruins with all those like little sand and stone textures all throughout here. The browns and the paints apps look really cool on this. It's just a really cool base. And then one cool thing is it actually comes with two different styles of cradles. One is just a straight up and down rod that we normally get with the one like little kind of between the legs cradle, and then we also get this dioramic stand, which is really cool because you can actually move this all around and pose it however you want. You can give some really cool flight poses. The figure is so heavy, I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like this could just kind of slip off the figure, especially with the way it like wraps around the waist and stuff. So I haven't done any flight poses or anything like that, but this works really well to get him some really cool dynamic poses. This is a really cool base that Hot Toys has given us. We are also given this really cool destroyed Ultron with this Iron Man figure. And this just kind of sits on the base like I have it here, but this is just a really cool accessory because it's just detailed out just about as much as the Hot Toys are. So you have like all this detailing in Ultron's face. That looks fantastic. Love the red that they use for the eyes. The coloring is just, the paint apps on these things are just unreal. You get all the detailing there on the shoulder. That looks really good. All like the broken like little mechanics and all that on the back. You have again like all the damage and everything like that, but you even have like some of the sand and stone that's been almost like melted into the destroyed Ultron. Like, this just looks absolutely awesome. It's just a cool kind of, I'm not really going to use it because I'm going to use it in my Civil War case, and that doesn't really fit with the Ultron, but it's just a really cool inclusion to have with this figure. We are given 4 sets of hands with this figure, the first being the closed fist, which I actually have on the figure right now. We have these little repulsor hands that are actually angled up so it looks like Iron Man is firing the repulsor, and that does have the LED light there in the center. We are also given this set of hands that have articulated fingers, so each one of these fingers actually can move, and you can manipulate it and articulate it any way you want. And once again, it does have the LED light there in the center, so that lights up as well. And then the last ones that we have these flame burst firing effects. This is really cool. This is sculpted out absolutely beautifully. All like the little effects of the fire coming out of the pulsar there looks absolutely wonderful. And all these hands, just the detail that they put into it. You got like all these chips from the battle damage there on the back of the palm. It's just like the fingers, like where they articulate, like where it would articulate, are all sculpted out and have that really nice gunmetal gray in between the red. And I love the red that they used on this figure. It's just absolutely stunning. And then like on here at the bottom, you have all those little intricate details in the armor. Just looks absolutely great. And all the hands are sculpted this way, and they just look fantastic. And the other thing we are given is actually a battle damaged chest piece. And this is really cool. So you get like the normal one, which has some kind of scrapes and stuff on it, but then you get this one that actually has all the holes and everything, like all the just battle damage. Just looks absolutely fantastic. We're also given a couple little effects accessories with this figure. First off being the fire effects that actually go to the feet. So if you want it like a flying pose, you can put the ones on that are permanently in the hands, and so that will cover the hands, and you can put these in the feet, so it gives it that really kind of cool just taken off effect. And we also get these lasers that actually come out of the forearm of the Iron Man. And then the little laser beams, all we do is here on the forearm, there's this little section that pulls up. Once you pull it up, there's just a little square peg, and you just plug in the laser, and that gives you that cool little laser effect. The last accessory is the LED light up features. Now his eyes light up, the arc reactor and his chest light up, and both hands do light up. So how we get the head to light up is you actually remove this little plate right here that's held on by a magnet, and there's a little on-off switch right here. You just flip that, and as you can see, the eyes come on. Now as far as the arc reactor on his chest, how we get that to light up is you just remove this little back piece right here, if I can do it. And then once that exposes the battery pack and then the little on-off switch right there. Now this one's really hard to get your finger in there to be able to switch it on, so I just use a little piece that we took off the edge and just slide it over like so. And then there is the arc reactor all turned on. And the last place he does light up is the hands, and how we turn those on is you actually just pop off this little arm guard right here, once again exposing the little switch and the battery port, and you just flip the switch, and then once again there is the hands. Taking a closer look at Iron Man himself, I think this is the coolest figure I own as far as sculpting wise. I mean, every little nook and cranny on the Mark 45 suit Hot Toys is detailed out. And we take a closer look here at the helmet, and I mean just everything from all the little panels to all the lines. I mean right there in the like kind of cheek area, that's all sculpted out. I love the red that they used in this. The red and gold is just, it's just fantastic, the tones that they used. It has a little bit of a shine to it, but nothing like too crazy or shiny or like just over the top. It's like a really nice kind of, I guess call it like, kind of like a candy apple red. But it's just a wonderful paint job. Love the gold that they used. And I love that they put all these like different like scrapes and battle damages on this thing. Just looks absolutely stunning. On the back, not a whole lot going on. A couple little lines and everything sculpted in. That looks really good. But now going down the neck, I mean, you just get all this sculpting work. Just in the neck of this figure. I mean, like the little silver right there. I mean, just all this line work is just absolutely phenomenal and really looks like the panels of the Iron Man suit. Going down here to the shoulders, once again, you get all this line detail. You get that gold in there. That looks absolutely awesome. Get like the really nice kind of gunmetal, lighter gray. That looks great. Once again, I just love all the battle damage of all the scrapes and everything right there throughout the chest. That looks fantastic. Coming down here through the midsection, I mean, just like all that line work, I love. Like once again, I cannot get over how much I love this color scheme. I really like this red. I really like that gold, and then just tie it in with the little accents of silver gray. Just look fantastic. And then I mean, they even sculpted out. Like if you look really close here, I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about these gaps. They don't bother me at all. But I mean, you look in there and you got like all the wiring, all the just mechanics of the suit all detailed out. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Same thing right here in the inner bicep. That just looks fantastic. Going down here, I mean, on the outer bicep, that just looks really good with the golden reds. That looks fantastic. Love all the sculpting work they did here on the elbow. I mean, there you have all the different panels that would, you know, move together as Iron Man would be moving. Love on the forearms, all this detail work. That looks fantastic. Once again, the hands just look really, really good. I mean, and then we come down here to the actual abdomen. I mean, this thing is just, I mean, just the amount of detail and interlocking parts and all that type of stuff. It blows my mind how they can actually get all this detail into these figures. And then come down the legs. Once again, you have all the gold there. That looks really, really good. Love the reds. Love, once again, the scrapes and battle damage. I think they did a fantastic job with that. It's not too over the top, but there's enough of it that really makes it look worn. And I think it fits with my Civil War display really, really well. Coming down here, once again, just more line work. Get the mechanics there in the knee. That looks fantastic. Love all the line work here on the boots. That looks really good. Like a little hydraulic system here on the back of like where the Achilles tendon and all that would be. That looks really good. And then going down to the boots, just more paneling. Some really good sculpting line work. And then here on the bottom, you have the little rockets and all that. It just looks absolutely wonderful. Taking a look at the articulation on this figure, I feel that it's actually really, really, really good. So as far as head movement, we do get side to side. He can look up actually quite a bit. You do get a little bit of a weird gap there, and then you can look down quite a bit. And there is a little bit of extra articulation there because the neck does rotate and move up and down and have a little bit of a pivot all in there as well, so that's really nice. As far as the arms, they do go 90 degrees out to his body, so that's great motion. As far as going forward, he can go all the way around, so that's great. And then he does have a bicep swivel. He does have a bit of a kind of pivot there at the arm or the armpit as well, so that's really nice. And then he is double jointed there at the elbow, but due to the way that the bicep and the forearm are designed, he can't really go any further than that, but it's still a fairly good range of motion. As far as his hands, hands do rotate, and they do go up and down. The only issue that sometimes you get when they do up and down is the way that this is designed. There's a little cutout right here to kind of let that flow a little bit better, but unfortunately it does, those hands do get caught up there on the wrist just a little bit, but you do get rotation and just a little bit as far as up and down movement. Now, as far as the diaphragm, he can rotate here at the ribs, so it looks really good. He does have a little bit of an ab crunch, not a whole lot. I can go up a little bit and then go back just a little bit. So not a whole lot of movement there. And then what they've actually done, because there is no hip rotation here, actually at the true hip. So what you actually do is kind of expand the figure. So you just pull them apart there, and then that actually gives you at least a little bit, not a whole lot, but you get a little bit of rotation and a little bit more of the ab crunch. So as you can see here, you can actually go back just a little bit, and then you can go forward just a little bit more than what he did. But you do have to expand the armor to be able to get that motion. And then you just kind of close that back down whenever you have him posed however you want. As far as the legs, he can kick actually forward quite a bit. So that's a really nice range of motion there. He does have an upper thigh rotation. And there is, once again, kind of that pivot rotation up here at the hip joint. As far as the knees, he is double jointed and gets some excellent range of motion there. And then as far as the feet, he can go forward and back just a little bit. And then the one thing that they did do is they have all these interlocking panels, which I think is absolutely awesome. So like the armor actually, like when you kick forward, that little piece, these like all these pieces actually come out. And then that just, like, it just adds to the realism of this is an actual, like, working mechanical suit. And it's just unbelievable how much detail they got in this thing. But so the feet actually have that as well. So sometimes you have to kind of manipulate those panels to be able to get them to work. But there is some up and down motion. There is a little bit of a toe articulation here, but not a whole lot there. And then there is ankle pivot, but he cannot rotate his feet. And here's just a quick comparison of the Hot Toys Mark 45 and the Hot Toys Civil War Captain America figure. And as you can see, Iron Man stands just a little bit taller than Cap. Cap may be a little bit wider in the shoulders and abdomen than Iron Man. But I think overall, especially from being two different movies in two different series, that they fit and scale fairly well, especially since I have them just posed facing off. I think it looks really good. I mean, it may be, Iron Man may be a little bit small just since it is a man in a suit compared to this Cap, but I think for my purposes, and if you're trying to do like a Civil War display, I think they work fairly well together. So that is going to do it for my review of the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Movie Masterpiece Die-Cast Series Iron Man Mark 45 Age of Ultron action figure. I do think this is probably my coolest figure that I own, only because of all the little details and intricacies that they have in the armor. I mean, this thing really feels like it's a true working machine. And it's just, it just absolutely blows my mind thinking about how they were able to get all these details and all this design work into one of these figures. Now, I know these things are extremely expensive. That's the only drawback with the die-cast figures. But, I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it was worth every penny. And this is just an amazing piece to have. So if you guys want this figure, it is available at Sideshow Collectables. It's an absolute phenomenal figure, and I highly, 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 if you have the money, really recommend this figure. So once again, that is going to do it for me. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It means a lot that you guys watch them. If you guys did like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the Iron Man Mark 45, any of the other Iron Man Hot Toys. I know there's a bajillion of them out there. I think this will probably be my only one. May get the 46 at some point, I don't know. But let me know in the comments if you guys like the 45 or the 46 better. If you had this figure, what you think of it, what you thought of Civil War, what you thought of Age of Ultron. Happy to talk anything Marvel with you. And if you guys could, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of the future content, including more Hot Toys reviews and other fun stuff that I put up. So make sure you guys don't miss out on any of that content. Subscribe. And once again, that is going to do it for me. I want to thank you guys so much for checking these out, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.